I've been reading that the brain is like a muscle. That's why getting over a death is so hard. Because your brain has been trained to feel things for a person. When they go away, your head is still operating under the impression that it should feel those things for that person, like muscle memory.
I think we'll hold off on the will for today.
I know the three of you spent 2 weeks getting to know each other. What was something that really surprised you from the performances working with them when you actually got on set after having that experience?
Surprised, I would say, I don't know, surprised, but I think what I appreciated about those 2 weeks was that, well, it's just, if you're playing very good friends with people, you know, there's a kind of an easy camaraderie, both physically and, you know, verbally, colloquially, that you you can't imitate. It kind of has to be sort of organic in a way. So that was great that we had that and we were all open to that. And I think what also it lent itself to was the movie has these moments of our actors being very vulnerable in ways that can be extremely uncomfortable for the character, but also maybe for the audience, you know. And I think it's the idea that we could do all that in a safe space that let that expand, and rather than contract it and be embarrassed by it, but that it could expand into something beyond embarrassment, into something that actually is people can connect to in a very real way. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably what you were responding to.
Oh, absolutely.
Love, friendship, yeah, true. And Dan is so clever, because it could be grief, but it could be another thing, you know? You can put what is dealing with grief, but the emotions are so raw that you can really put your emotions into all the characters. So it's so brilliant.
And Hamish, I will tell you, you know, Thomas he is not a man of many words, but the way that you emote, the way that he's feeling and conveying, you know, talk to me about, you know, finding that delicate way of handling that character.
Yeah, I think it was beautifully written on the page. Thank you for that. Didn't make it too hard for me, but there's a lot going on, I think, in terms of the past with Thomas, the history between the two of them, and a pain that he's been feeling for a while, that I think he sort of brushes off with humour. As you see at the very beginning of the movie, that the story he's telling it's actually quite a painful story, but he passes it off in this sort of, you know, that's just the way the world is for me, sort of way. And I think that's kind of what really made me relate to the character so quickly. I think so many of us do that, you know.
Do I look older to you? I feel like I've aged a lot.
No.
Yes, your husband just died, you're allowed. My God.
Couldn't really love you anymore. You've become my ceiling.
I wanted to thank you both for this year. I would like to take us to Paris for the weekend. We all deserve some joy.
Yes, thank you. Where are we staying?
As a human, as a person, what did you learn about yourself going through this experience? It being your first directorial feature, and then kind of, you know, the first path off of, you know, the other projects that you're so well known for.
Sure. As actors, you want the breadth of roles. You want to be able to morph and change and shift. I'm sure some want to play the same part over and over again, but certainly for the most part, I think you want to flex different muscles, and you want to explore different stories and inhabit people's lives in very different ways. So it was really important to tell this story, and also to fight for what I found to be the most important parts of the story too. And it's a small story, but it's a meaningful story, and I think it resonates on a large scale. But choosing when to fight for the things that I really wanted to fight for, choosing when to negotiate and when to compromise, all in service to the storytelling, all in service to the specificity of the storytelling, that was really it. And I think inherently, because I wrote this story, I knew what to fight for. It wasn't like there was a writer and then a director came in and then a producer came in and now there's 3 points of view. It was essentially me and a very small team of producers who I love and trust, protecting the story, protecting the characters, protecting the actors from, I think, you know, there's always impulses to make things bigger or shinier. And it was about preserving the sensitivity of the film, I think.
Can I ask you to have a drink with me?
We have been here for you. We built you the nest, and we sat on you for a year. It's time to hatch. We love you. This is us loving you.